Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasso here, coming out with another 5 cards to have in your trade buyer for December, and you guys absolutely killed the last one. I asked for 40 likes, and you guys gave that 69 likes. I know, nice. Obligatory internet joke. But point is, I love the support you guys are showing on this series, so I'm going to give you guys a part 2, and if this video hits 50 likes, I'll give you guys a part 3 in December. Now, if you're buying cards off TCG Player, please find my affiliate link down in the description below. So any of the cards I mentioned here, or anything off TCG Player, it helps out the channel to no additional cost to you, and I appreciate those who use my link, because that goes into openings and other stuff for the channel. And if you're not subscribed, hopefully today's the day to earn your subscription. We're over 1,000 subs, and honestly, I'm just really happy. That's all I gotta really say. Now, for the first card I have here is Collector's Rare Beat Cop. First edition, coming out of Genesis Impact. Now, a lot of people have been asking me what cards you should pick up in there. This is the one. First of all, to see Collector's Rares this low for their ratio, because there's about 15 Collector's Rares, 10 to 15, every single one of these side sets, and they're every 3 boxes. So getting your particular Collector's Rare is very difficult. And while there isn't as many good picks compared to Toon Chaos, it's a no-show from this set. There are still some really good ones like Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix, but the reason I'm telling you guys to pick up Beat Cop is, first off, is the waifu tax, right? A lot of people really love Tour Guide, and this is a Tour Guide-esque card. But the waifu tax simply wouldn't make this list if it wasn't for that. I believe that Konami is going to make a Tour Guide archetype in the future. Now, they've done archetypes based off cards like Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, even smaller stuff that a lot even collectors might not like exactly when it comes to cards getting their own little archetype. So I think that Tour Guide could get its own archetype, but another reason I'm telling you guys this is because it's a generic rank 2 Dark Fiend that really helps you link climb in Dark Fiend decks, along with help protect your own cards from destruction, since you can place a beat counter on it, and if those cards would be destroyed, you could just remove that instead. This is a very good card that I've seen meta play as well. So to see a first set copy at $29, that is extremely cheap compared to what it could be in the future. I could see this card, if any meta-relevant strategy comes up, easily hit $100. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Genesis Impact because they're too busy getting other stuff for Christmas. They're looking at the set and they're like, well, either Evil Twins or Dryden, that's all people are really interested in. And usually you don't find a person who's interested in both. The set's not going to do well. Oh, I'll pick it up later, this, that. I believe Beat Cop at $29 as a first set copy is amazing, since in a few years, it could easily be triple digits, $100, $200. This, along with if it's ever relevant again, if Tour Guide gets any type of archetype, waifu tax. Again, so many reasons to pick this card up, and seeing it at less than $30 is criminal. So I would get on this pre-sale while you can. It may go a little lower at $20, so keep your eye on it, since there's a lot of listings at $29. If this drops a little bit, definitely pull the trigger. Now, the second card I have here is actually from a structure deck, and usually structure deck investments aren't that good unless they're sealed. At least that's my opinion. But this is just a no-brainer. And the second card I have here is, let me see here, Lilith, Lady of Lamnet. Now, this is a $3 super coming out of the Labyrinth of Nightmare, I believe, structure deck. And what this card does is, if it has 2,000 attack, if it's normal summoned, it has 1,000 attack. You reveal 3 normal traps to your opponent, and they randomly choose 1 for you to set on the field. You have to tribute a dark for this, so you contribute itself, you contribute a token or another dark monster, etc., etc. The reason I'm telling you guys to pick this up is because this has had actually 2 tops in the recent LCS using this card. Eldritch decks are using it, certain other decks are using it, and the new support of Trap Tricks are using it. New Trap Trick support got announced recently, and I've seen a lot of OCG builds actually playtest Lilith, Lady of Lamnet. The reason why I'm telling you guys to pick this card up is because essentially any trap deck that is relevant at all will be looking at this card and playtesting it or using it, since it just offers too much. You normal it, you contribute this, or one of the other darks you control, because this card can have synergy with other archetypes and cards just off the tribute alone, and it sets from the deck to the field. So being able to just get any normal trap on field, that's just amazing, especially stuff like Trap Trick, which can basically do the same thing. This is really, really good. So I'm telling you guys to pick this up, since it only has 1 printing. I would get your copies as soon as possible, since this card can easily do something like how the Dinosaur structure deck did and had supers up to $10. As for Overraptor, I believe that was the card. I may be wrong, so I apologize. This card could do something similar, so get your copies while you can. Now the third card I have here is actually a game promo, and you guys might have never heard of this actually, and neither have I for a long time, and that is Blue Eyes White Dragon from the Power of Chaos Kaiba the Revenge game. Now you guys are probably wondering why you haven't heard of this. Well, easy. It was in a trilogy of cards of games of the Chaos series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which if you don't know, that's fine, but it was a trilogy, and it's the second one in the installments, so it's kind of like the least known, and this has Blue Eyes as its promotion. Now the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this up, and this game, by the way, for a little bit more backstory, it's actually on the PC and it came out in 2004. The game's actually alright, and it's actually regarded as one of the better older Yu-Gi-Oh games, especially since a lot of the older Yu-Gi-Oh games were very clunky, very hard to manage and work, but this is definitely one of the better ones. So the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this version of Blue Eyes up is because we look at Dark Duel stories, right, and we see Blue Eyes there for damaged $300. We see anything that's half slobbered on above $700. This is a Blue Eyes that is worth thousands of dollars if near mint or PSA'd. This is one of the most highest sought after Blue Eyes, except for maybe LOB. Not even Retro Pack comes to this. And this is another game promo of that is Blue Eyes. And lightly playeds are $40. So if you are looking on my series for an investment that you can wait a couple years or look into the future and you have some type of medical bill, big medical bill you need to pay, or mortgage, and you want to have a card that is in the quadruple digits, this is where you go. Lightly playeds at $40 and then near mints at $90. This is a steal for a Blue Eyes. And this is something that collectors will easily sought after for. It's a very easy card to flip. Iconic to Yu-Gi-Oh! Everyone knows it. And probably one of the best Blue Eyes. It is the best Blue Eyes to invest in. Since there are a couple good Blue Eyes to invest in, this, in my opinion, is the best one for $40. So get your copies while you can. Now the fourth card that I have here is a very, very cheap card that a lot of people actually haven't heard of, and that is CyberElon, and this is the Shonen Jump version. Now the Shonen Jump version is less than $2 whole, and getting any Jump promo for literally $1 or $2 is one of the best dollar stocks that I could actually tell you. But that's not the only reason I'm telling you guys this. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because Dryden actually uses this in the side or main deck. And I'm going to read off the effect and tell you why. So this card can't be normal summoner set. It can only be special by removing from play all light machine type monsters you control and that are in the graveyard. And this card gains 500 attack and defense, equal to the number of monsters removed from play when it was special summoned times 500. So if you want this to be 3,000, you have to remove at least 6. But if you're playing something like Dryden's, you're probably going to have this at 5-6k. But when this card is special summoned, you can send all other face-up monsters on the field to the graveyard. So this does not destroy, so it's not like a Dark Hole. This is basically, or a Raigeki, this sends everything. So you can attack for 5-6k if you need some damage, or if you just want to clear the board. This is really good since it's an amazing board wiper, since it sends. It's very easy to make since it doesn't have a minimum, so as long as you have one light monster on the field, you can essentially do this. I believe it's actually Light Machine, my fault. So as long as you have one Light Machine on the field or the graveyard, you could summon this card even with 500 attack and defense, send all the cards, and then you could combo off since this does not lock you into machines or nothing like that. Drydens are using this to get over certain boards and they're siding it, and I think a lot of people who love Drydens are looking at this card. And while this card has quite a few quantities on in the market, I think it's best to get these at $1 or $2. I personally would at least get a playset of this card, since usually I tell you guys to pick up one of a card, and obviously multiples will usually just get more profit too. I highly advise you guys to get a playset or 2 playsets, since it's still going to be under $10 for your collection, or just to sell back in 2-3 weeks time when everyone realizes what this card does, since there are people talking about it. So to be fair, only one person, but give it 2 weeks and there'll be more, and that one person's me, by the way. Now the fifth card that I actually have for your 5 cards to have in your trade binder is TurboWarrior Ultimate Rare First Edition. Now I say First Edition, I need to make that clear. Coming out of Crossroads of Chaos. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this card up is because, for those who don't know, Crossroads of Chaos is a set that does not have first edition boxes. Why? Honestly, it was super weird for the time, and a lot of players actually don't know that that's the case. Sometimes I talk way too much in these videos, I'm sorry. Oof. For that, I just get a little thirsty. But the point is, this is a card that is very hard to get in first set, any Crossroads of Chaos card. Now, Turbo Warrior, I'm telling you guys to pick up because a lot of the ultimate rares from Crossroads of Chaos, unless they were completely irrelevant, are not worth that much money. And even some of the irrelevant ones are worth quite a bit. Turbo Warrior is one of the cheapest ultimate rares from Crossroads of Chaos, but the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this up is not because of how cheap it is, being light placed at $20. It's a little more, is because, number one, the quantities of this card are very, very low, since a lot of people who love Turbo Warrior like me already have their copies for their personal collection, because this was used in episode 12, I believe, of the anime. It could be episode 11. I just remember it is against Trudge, when Yusei is trying to escape the facility. That is all I remember. So I believe it's episode 12. It could be episode 11. So if someone actually is a huge nerd of 5Ds, please correct me in the comment section below. But this is one of Yusei's ace monsters. It's not like Stardust Dragon, but this is the highest rarity of this card that you're going to be able to find. And Crossroads of Chaos is a set that's almost impossible to get in first ed, and there's probably whatever we have on the market is what we have. And for $20, seeing this card that is a main protagonist ace monster, one of the most favorite, mind you, by the way, right? An ultimate rare that's hard to get, and an ultimate rare that's hard to get in first edition, along with limited quantities, I would grab your copies at $20 while you can. So with that being said, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.